dealing with the problems of the Civil War. Today, the Confederate flag. It happened over 150 years ago. We're still dealing with it. Syria is going to be dealing with this civil war for generations. These things don't go away. So, we were given guidance. We were given a covenant. When the covenant is abandoned, calamities happen. The Prophet ﷺ, his sunnah is the wisdom of this book. And if you look at our Prophet ﷺ, all you have to ask, the Christians have this thing, would Jesus do it? What would Jesus do? They ask that. We should have the same criteria. Do you think the Prophet ﷺ would tell people to strap bombs on them and go blow up people, innocent people? Is there anything in his sunnah that indicates that would be a methodology that he would use? Because he was in Mecca. He could have had his Sahaba go assassinate people. They were brave. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari was a Ghifari. Really. He was an incredibly brave man. Ibn Mas'ud was incredibly brave. These men were lions in battle. He could have said, go kill secretly, go sneak into so-and-so's house. He didn't do that. Why? Because that's not his methodology. What he does is out in the open. He never did anything by stealth, other than to escape because Allah commanded him to do. He didn't do things by stealth. He told people exactly what he was going to do, and he did what he was going to do. He didn't shed blood. We have a cult of death. I was just reading a book the other day, and it was all about just death. Like, these people love death more than life, and they quote all these early things. That in war, you want people to have that mentality. That's not the mentality that you want people to just have as human beings. The Prophet said, don't desire death. لا تتمنوا الموت. The only time he asked for death is fitna. He said, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتَ بِعِبَادِكَ أَوْ بِالنَّاسِ فِتَّةً فَقْبِضْنِي إِلَيْكَ غَيْرَ مَفْتُونٍ. Take me to you out without civil strife. And he said that when Allah wants rahmah, this is a sahih hadith, when Allah wants rahmah for an ummah, He allows the Prophet who gives them the message to live to see them accept the message. But when He wants to punish an ummah, the Prophet who gives them the message sees their destruction in his own life. SubhanAllah. And so our ummah, He wanted rahmah for this ummah. Allah wanted rahmah for this ummah. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا ترجعوا بعدي كفارا يضرب بعضكم رقاب بعض. Don't go become kuffar after I gave you this. Don't become kuffar. How? By killing one another. The ulama say the kuffar here means don't do the actions of people that don't believe in Allah as a rahmah, because even Sahaba fought. So the wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ is something that we have lost in our community. We've lost it. And it's something that we need to regain. And it's regained with knowledge. Because the Prophet ﷺ, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا, I was sent to teach. It's regained with humility. Because he was the most humble of men. And he said, أُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَتَوَاضَعَ, I was commanded to be humble. حَتَّى لَا يَفْخَرَ أَحَدٌ عَلَى أَحَدٍ, until no one deems himself superior to any other. Because if the Prophet was humble, then who am I not to be humble? If the best of creation was humble, who am I not to be humble?